Michelle and I are currently in Sedona, Arizona on a week-long photographic adventure, and I thought I'd take a few minutes to show you what I packed in my camera bag for this week-long adventure. This is my first long-distance adventure with this new Sunny 16 camera bag. So let's go through and show you everything that I've packed in here. We'll start with the front of the bag right here. As we lift up this flap and open it up, there's a quick access pocket right here. I zip this open, and in here we find my Fujifilm camera. Now, one thing that I did purchase that's new for this Fujifilm camera is an L bracket, which is kind of interesting how it had to be designed. I'm trying it out on this trip, seeing if I like it, and see if it's something I'm going to continue to use. Also, there's a little pocket right up here in the top, and I have a few lens cleaning cloths, a couple of them from Sunny 16. I've been trying these out, and I've really enjoyed these. And I have a couple other little generic ones too that work really, really well. Zipper this up, and let's go to the other front pockets. There's a zipper pocket right here that's underneath the flap, and in this right now I've got a little Lewinner light. This is an RGB light that I have. I can vary the color temperature on it, and we can also change the mode on this, and it can do different colors of light. So I can throw out red light or blue light or purple light, but I'm thinking the red light might actually help me out early in the morning or late in the evening for some trail sightseeing and that, and to do some vlogging, because I want to maintain that night vision. Also in here is nothing. Normally I have a couple other goodies in here, but I'm actually using them to film this video. I have a smart rig articulating arm and a couple other little things that are hooked up to the tripod right now to film this video for you. So let's close this guy up and open up these flaps here. Now these are nice, kind of a retro looking buckle style, and this opens up. And there's three pockets underneath here. There's a wide full range pocket along the back, which I've got this case right here, and it holds a number of different cables that are important to recharge all the various camera gears and equipment that we have on this photographic adventure. And then in here also I have a single CPL filter for one of my lenses, and I have a single neutral density filter. This would be for my DJI Pocket 2 camera. In this side, I have my neutral density filters and the one adapter for my wide angle lens so that these can work on the wide angle lens. Here's a set of neutral density and CPL combined filters for my drone. And we go over to this pocket, and in this I have a JJC container to house my SD cards. This is kind of nice because you have the full-size SD cards, and right behind it you can house the mini SD cards as well. So I have a number of mini cards and then the full-size cards. The mini cards are for pretty much all the other equipment. The two GoPro cameras that I have with me take the mini cards. The DJI Pocket 2 camera takes the mini cards, and then the drone also takes the mini cards. And of course the full-size cards are for my Fujifilm camera. And that pretty much wraps up the front access of this bag. Let's close her up, flip her over, and let's see what goodies I have in the back. So of course, straps, backpack straps, very nice, and a chest strap as well for this to take some of the weight off. I have on here a clip-on thing with the action camera mount that I can sometimes mount my GoPro to me for some POV walking trail shots. We'll see if we do anything like that. Now the camera bag opens up from the back to access all the gear, which is really nice because then when you lay this on the ground, and especially here, I'm a little concerned about the red clay and the red dust that's going to be here. This way, it's the front of the bag that gets dirty, not the part that's up against your clothing. I do want to point out that this does have the strap in here for the luggage. That came in really handy at the airport, that I could mount it over my suitcase and wheel it through the airport. Also, this bag, I want to mention, this does work as a carry-on bag. So this was my personal item bag that I took on the airplane with me, and it fit underneath the seat. All this gear you're about to see fit in this bag, and this bag packed underneath the seat. So very, very nice. Very happy with that. So let's open this up and let's see everything that I packed in here for the trip here, not necessarily everything that I'm going to be taking out into the field. Hold on, a little more energy. Love coffee. So this flap opens up, and then I'm going to first go through what's in this flap, what I have stored in here. So as I open this up, this has a Velcro closure, and let's take the big part out first. And in here, I do have my MacBook Pro so that I can do some editing while we're here. And on the flight, it was almost a 5-hour flight because we had incredible headwinds. I did take the opportunity to do some video editing. And then in the front pocket, I have my Magic Mouse that I'm using here on the desk, these earbuds that I used on the airplane to edit that video. And then I did bring one external drive with me. This does house some of the archive video from earlier videos that I've done here on YouTube, and I was thinking I might need to access some of those for some of the editing that I'd be doing here on some of these videos. So that takes care of everything in this. Let's put this Velcro back and kind of go through everything that's in the bag. Now, you know, I already talked about, I have the Fujifilm XS10 camera right there, and it does have the kit lens, the 18-55 lens. I have found this thing to be absolutely tack sharp, and I've really enjoyed it. I did buy it used. It came without the hood, but I ordered the replacement hood for it, and it's just been a great lens for me, and I really enjoyed working with this. And again, I find it absolutely tack sharp. I have been using a vintage telephoto lens for my little longer shots, but I thought it was time, and I actually invested in the Fujifilm 50-140, their red badge lens. I've done a few shots with this already. I absolutely love this. It is tack sharp. I did have their, what is it, their 55-200 lens for a while, and again, I never really cared for that lens. I don't know, it just didn't ever seem sharp to me, and I really never enjoyed it. But this lens, I've really liked working with it. It does have a collar that's attached and a mount that's attached for it to mount onto that tripod, so it's just really nice, very solid, very stable. It is an internal zoom lens, so when you zoom it, it doesn't expand at all, and it is weather sealed as well, even though my camera is not weather sealed. But I like that because just thinking about it being weather sealed gives me a little more confidence in the resistance of dust to get into this lens as you zoom it in and out, and plus the ones that extend out when you zoom them out and they go back in, it creates almost like a little vacuum inside that lens as you zoom it and can really attract and bring dust in, I've found. So I've really liked this lens a lot. It is a very heavy lens, and not many people use this as a travel lens, but just the absolute sharpness and the ability to be here in Sedona for a week and to do photographs, I thought it was well worth the investment of weight and size. Going on in here, let's kind of go through some more lenses and stuff. Oh, this is a little light that I picked up and can mount on the brim of a cap. So I have a cap that I have with me with a brim, so I'll be able to use this to see as I walk through trails as well. I did bring a couple of extension tubes. They're the Mikey extension tubes, which is a 10mm and a 16mm extension tube in case I see any things that I want to do close-ups of. They weigh almost nothing and take up very little room. For a wide angle, I do use and have really enjoyed the Laowa 0D 9mm lens. It is an f2.8 lens and stops all the way down to f22. This is manual focus, but it's so wide. Your depth of field at almost any aperture is incredible. And I found this lens to be incredibly sharp. The only caveat that I have on this lens with the Fujifilm system is its color rendition is a little different than the Fujifilm lenses. It's a little colder, thinner. I guess that's about the only way I can put it. The Fujifilm glass to me is just incredibly rich and lifelike, and this just has a little bit of a cooler palette or something. It's kind of hard to explain, but again, very easy to fix in post. I did pack a couple of GoPros with me. One of them is being used to film some of this video, so I can't show that, but I do actually have my old ancient GoPro Hero 3 Plus, and this thing really holds up well and has really stood the test of time. And I brought this with me because it's old enough and cheap enough. If I damage this, I'm not really concerned. I do have a magnet mount for this and the waterproof housing as well for this, so I can mount this to the rental car as we go. We have a couple other exciting excursions planned if they work out, and I was thinking this along with this like a handlebar clamp would work really well for this. This is not a stabilized GoPro, so any shaking really shows up in the video, but the footage actually holds up surprisingly well. My main GoPro camera is a GoPro Hero 8 that I picked up recently new. I'm incredibly frugal. That's probably my Scotch background that I have, and I couldn't pass up the price on it. It does have really good image stabilization. I like the ability that it can shoot 4K as well, so it gives me the ability to crop in a little bit. And in fact, that's what kind of the secondary camera that I'm using to film this, to get a little more view inside this bag, is being shot with that GoPro. I do have for the GoPro this accessory, this Artman, that holds 3 batteries. So I do have the 1 battery in the GoPro, and I have this 3 battery charger to keep these batteries charged and fresh. The Sunny 16 bag does have an external USB port on it right here, which is kind of nice because you can hook up an auxiliary battery and plug in and charge things from this USB port on the outside. So I do have 2 separate external batteries or backup batteries with me for that. And then for a charger for my Fujifilm camera, I did bring this smaller charger that holds 2 batteries as well. So I'm using this to hold 2 batteries plus the one in the Fujifilm camera. One thing about that XS10 is it does go through batteries because these are fairly small for all the electronics that's in there. The Sunny 16 bag does have a quick side access pocket right here that some people will use for their camera instead of the top access pocket. I've chosen to use this side access pocket for things that I want to access quickly. And one would be this DJI Pocket 2 camera in its case. And then I have very quick access to grab this when I need it. It stays protected as I travel, but then of course the pocket camera easily fits in one of the pockets in my pants or in my jacket. Very convenient. These are really a great vlogging camera. And then underneath that, again, for quick side access, I have my case that has the Rode Wireless Go microphones in there, and then the triple charger. So this has 1 USB-A cable on one side, and then it splits out into 3 USB-Cs. So you can charge all 3 units on that Rode Wireless Go 2 mic. The receiver module goes right in here, and it's hooked to the camera right now that we're filming this with, and microphone 1 goes right here, and it's on me right now recording. Also the little dead cats that it has, 3 of them, so it has 1 spare, fit right in here. I've got a cable right here that goes from the receiver module into a camera, so that's got a standard 1/8" plug right there. And then I also carry in here one that will connect the receiver to my iPhone. And this video I'm actually filming with my iPhone right now. By the way, what do you think of that? I am filming it with the iPhone 14 Pro in the cinematic mode, so it has the fake depth of field in it. And I'm really curious what you think, if you've noticed that up until this point of the video. And then I do have my drone as well, and I packed this right at the bottom. So it's just a simple DJI Mini drone. It's the older model. It's not the Mini 2 or Mini 3. Again, I'm very frugal. I picked this up on a deal that you could not believe, so I couldn't pass that up. I did crash the one that I had, and in fact I'll link that video right here with the crash, and because of that I did order these eyes to put on there so this drone can look out for things, for danger in the environment, because of course the Mavic Mini does not have all the sensors that the other drones have. The controller and batteries as well. And I have 1 battery in the drone, and I have 3 batteries right here that I keep fully charged. Also, for the drone, I have a little sunshade that goes on when you take that cover off to help prevent any lens flare. And then for the older GoPro 3, I have this battery charger as well and a couple batteries. This bag does have a side pocket that is usable for a tripod. I have my small KF Concept, and that's what's set up right now that's filming this. It is the lightest tripod that I have, and it packs the smallest. It's not my favorite, but I brought it with me because it packs the smallest and will pack into this pouch nicely. For air travel, I did pack this little Tech Elks mini tripod that does have bendable legs, so I can wrap this around trees or supports or whatever I need to do, and has the 1/4-20 mount and a little mini plastic ball head, and it even has a little screw auxiliary mount on the side that's come in handy. So just for travel on the airplane, I mounted that right there. If you found this video helpful, click that like button and possibly even the subscribe button. Because it is December in Arizona, it's not warm in the evening and in the early morning. So I did purchase a set of gloves, and these are the Valorette gloves. These are the Markham Pro 3s, and been very, very happy with these. I've tried them out a little bit. Believe it or not, in Michigan yet in December, it's still not that cold, so we haven't had the need to use anything like this. But of course, if you've not seen these gloves before, the photography gloves, they do have fingers that open up so you can get the finger and the thumb out. Then there's magnets right here so that they go back. These little flaps go back and don't get in your way. Now you can operate your camera, you can trip the shutter, you can work the screen on the back, and then as you get cold, you can put those right back up. But of course, what you really want to see are all the photographs done on this adventure, and I've got a playlist of that right here for you. And if you want to know more about these Valorette gloves, check out this video right here. I'm James Fisher, this is Vintage Insight Photography, and remember to stay focused.